Hello, 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 hello.
Hi, you
Hello.
okay?
Yeah, you right, yeah?
Yeah, good. Good.
Hey, it's been a while.
Oh, yes, right.
A lot's happened in that time, though.
Yeah, a lot has happened.
A
The
lot has happened in that time.
world keeps turning.
It's just one. It's one. It's the world. It's the world that keeps on giving.
It,
It is the world that keeps on giving.
human beings are not doing very well at the moment, are they?
No, well, I mean, we've got the Bibby long stocking ship that don't work.
Yeah, right.
We've got the lesbian
Yeah,
looking police lady that arrested the autistic girl,
yeah,
and it's just all up in the air.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, so Hawaii, is it Hawaii? The
Oh,
wild,
the wildfires, yeah.
yeah,
But it's not. I mean, it's a shame. It's a fire. It's one of those things that happens. But all I was taken back by was the way it looks is unbelievable. I mean, you just see when you see the wall of fire
yeah,
going down to people that are on the beach, and they're all just jumping in the sea.
yeah.
Looks like something out of one of them doomsday movies.
Well, I think that's something people don't appreciate, do they? Is that those wildfires, they move at a rate of knots. And I think you just kind of think that okay, you need to escape them, but they're coming towards you slowly, it's a slow burn.
Yeah.
It's kind of, but people are like literally running for their lives,
Yeah,
aren't
well,
they?
because it's so dry. It's so dry.
So
But I mean,
dry.
I read something yesterday or this morning. Allegedly, it was sounded of a power company that they had a downed power line, and the power line hit the floor, made a spark,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
set a fire.
It's fine. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can look this up, and I don't know. I was just trying to look it up on my phone. Now, I read somewhere that during the Greek wildfires and all that have just gone on now, and so
Yeah.
they found incendiary devices somewhere.
What like people have plotted, like
Yeah,
started them.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, but there's loads of conspiracy theories about it. It's people that want climate change are setting these fires to say to people, look, this is what's happening. Look, this is what's going on. This is why we've got to stand in the middle of the road and not let you drive anywhere. Because this is going to stop fires.
I know, it's crazy.
It's madness. But that, I mean, the one that made me laugh this week really was the copper,
What was that?
the arresting the autistic girl.
Oh God, yeah, well, no.
I mean the more you read into that, I mean the family have obviously got problems because they were just like they let her go out and get. A nan or whoever it was basically told her to go out and get pissed.
Yeah, but that, I mean, I think what happened was because her sister was in whatever, trying to get the young girl to come home.
Yeah,
So she was off her head, and she wasn't having them. So then she called the police because she was a threat to her own safety. So she called the police to come and get her, and the police took them both in a car and drove them home. So
yeah,
it was when she got home and she got into the house, she turned around to this blonde police officer and said, I said to her mum, I don't know who she directed it to, but basically said, she looks like a lesbian like my nana, or she looks like my lesbian nana, or something like that. And with that, this police officer takes offence, and brings in a load of other officers who then go on to wrap her up, despite the fact that this poor girl is keeping her in and cowering in a cupboard, and her mum begging them to leave her alone, and took her away in a van and bundled her in a cell for 20 hours.
yeah. Seven
Um,
police officers.
7 And then not only that, but they kept her in there for 20 hours, saying all the way there's stuff on the body worn cameras,
Yeah,
says that this is justified and whatever. And then they come around and then they came out and said, actually, there's no further action, nothing to see here.
yeah.
You go, was there buggery or anything on those body
Because
worn?
it was such a. I mean, if I was another police officer and that woman called me to that address, I'd have to pull her aside and go, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, well, I was talking to someone about this, and I said, would you do this? Is this something, if you were told to do this, would you do this? He said, the problem is, they tell you to do it, you've not really got much choice. He said, but I would certainly be pulling aside the police officer in charge and saying, I'm not happy with this.
Yeah.
This is wrong.
This don't look good.
This don't look good at all. This is
Nah.
rival, not only worldwide.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got people in high places all over the world talking about this now.
Yeah, I've seen a few American podcasts talking about it.
Yeah, and then not only that, but the inspector above her had the audacity to come out and say, I feel think we should feel sorry for this police officer. What? Seriously?
Yeah, no. I can't feel sorry for her on that one
No,
because
I can't be feeling sorry for her. All this inability to be able to take
criticism.
what this girl said wasn't offensive anyway, but to take anything the inability to be offended is just it's gone.
Well, yeah, I just think if the old Bill took offence at everything a drunk person said to him,
Yeah.
there'd be no room anywhere for any criminals because everyone would be in prison.
No, that's right, exactly.
And especially on top of this, but this comes a week after that Manchester police have been investigated for the way they treat women in custody.
I know, and I mean, there's just something is happening in the police all the time, and
Yeah.
Stonewall's influence gone mad.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and these activists have managed to wheedle their way into the highest points of office, wherever, and it's all trickling down. Everything's coming top down.
Yeah.
And I think these other officers, they're not doing it because they actually think it's the right thing to do. They're doing it because they're scared not to.
Yeah.
They've been bullied into doing it.
Yeah.
And it's just wrong.
I just what worries me is all the things that have come out about the police in the last 2-3 years. You think, imagine all the stuff that goes on that you don't hear about.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Like the things that don't come out that just get dealt with internally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just get washed away. Because I mean, I always thought like the British police, like when you see like these things in America where people are kneeling on people's necks and shooting them unarmed people and whatnot, and you always think, oh, you never hear anything like that about.
No.
And the last maybe the last 10 years, it's been like that here.
Yeah.
I mean, like when they've shot an unarmed person, it's turned into a riot, or they've done. Regardless of whether that person was a scumbag, it doesn't matter. You can't shoot someone that doesn't have a gun.
No, that's right.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, but what worries me is, like I said, all the stuff that's been hush, like, and then all this stuff that's coming out now, and it's a lot of. It seems to be a lot of S-word crimes.
What word crimes?
S-words, heckel crimes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, there seems to be like a lot but with the police, like in general, it seems to be a lot of that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, and with kids as well.
Yeah.
You just think like, where is it? What's going on with their vetting process? No, I do understand that. Until you've been caught, you haven't got a criminal record, have you?
No, that's right.
So you can't do anything about that. But if you're doing proper psychometric testing, I mean, for crying out loud, I know someone who joined the police and they barely even had a face-to-face interview.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about that thing now where they want to recruit detectives straight to detective without having to be a police officer first.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
So but like only a certain caliber of person, but like anyone off the street could go and apply.
Yeah.
And when you go through a barrage of tests, and you can just go straight to the detective. And I thought to myself, imagine how the coppers on the beat that have been a police officer for 5 years and want to work their way up to that. Imagine how that'll make them. Imagine how that'll make them feel.
Right. They're going about everything the wrong way.
Yeah, and I was watching something the other day, and I reckon it was that crest of the dick that balls everything up.
Well, they're certainly. I don't know what the answer is with them really, but they look like namby-pamby. They don't have any real power, like people run rings around them, and then when they do go in, they go in too heavy.
Yeah.
In the first place.
But I mean, you look at go back to that little girl that they're arrested, right? They do that, right? And she's called in a mob out of 7 police officers, right? And they've arrested her. They've bundled her into a back of a police van. And they've put her in a police cell for 20 hours.
Yeah.
But then they won't touch a protester that stands in the middle of the M25, calls in a problem, is an accident waiting to happen.
And there are laws from I was listening to a politics program the other day, and there were already laws for them to remove them off the road.
Yeah.
They're obstructing a highway.
Yeah.
Pick them up and move them off the road.
Yeah. That's what I mean. If I was saying to someone the other day that I was a police officer, and I said to him, if I just stopped my car in the middle of the lane of the M25 and put the hazards on, within about 20 minutes, someone would be able to move me.
Yeah.
So if someone goes and lays in the middle lane of the M25, why can't someone come out and remove them?
Yeah.
I don't understand what the difference is. They remove a broken down car because it's a potential danger.
Yeah.
But then a person laying in the road is, oh no, we've got to let them protest. It's their right.
Right. Yeah.
He will protest, but protest over there so everyone else can go work.
Yeah, that's right. The problem is now you've got activist police officers who agree with these causes and are happy to just let it go because they don't want to get involved. They want to let it happen, despite they know that the law. That's what I'm starting to believe anyway.
Yeah, it's a new generation coming through, isn't it? Like that new everything's green.
And it's scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I was saying to somebody the other night, I dread to think of the world that we're living going back into, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I try not to think about it. It's depressing. I mean, the one thing that protesting lot did the other week that I thought was quite funny was when they put that big black flag over Rishi Sunak's house.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny.
In Leeds, no, but the only reason, because A, it didn't hurt no one. B, it didn't cut no traffic, and C, that's like when people keep saying, "Well, don't do it, don't protest us, protest the people who make the decisions."
Yeah. But you know what was even funnier was when the GB News journalist went and got, I don't know how he did it, but he got inside Greenpeace headquarters.
Oh, right.
And he went in and then we got his mic out and he's like, so tell us, what do you think about, what about our emissions in the UK? And what does that mean in terms of world emissions? And and they hated it. They hated it. And he went, well, you did this soon now. So I'm here now, I mean.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. It was
really
funny.
I was watching that GB News. I can't remember who it was. It was on there, but he was hilarious. He was saying he was ruining one of those what do they call it? Just Stop Oil.
Yeah.
The spokesperson, whatever it was, and he just wiped the floor over. She was just, and the things that she was saying. I mean, even a 12-year-old could sit there and go, "What? Hold on, what did you say?" It makes no sense whatsoever. It mate. What is that? There's that GB News? Is that the reporter that's on there? That Dan Wootton?
Yeah,
he's been done, hasn't he?
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's a shame. But show me somebody who hasn't got something in their closet.
Yeah, but his boyfriend found all them hard drives taped to the back of a washing machine with all the bits and pieces of that.
Yeah, well, let's see without sitting past the first stone and all that.
Yeah, because I think he was expecting. I read his Twitter feed. I think he was expecting some sympathy, but there were people saying that there's a few people's lives that you've ruined when you was a showbiz editor.
There are on Twitter. There aren't many people who actually support GB News. They're all very anti-GB News.
Yeah.
So
this was on his Twitter account. A statement that he made.
I know, but they're probably there anyway because they don't like GB News. They don't like him. They don't like GB News. Like, if you see that, stop hateful campaigns or something like that. Stop hateful. I don't know what they're called. But they've been trying to shut GB News down since the day they started.
They're like our version of Fox News, aren't they? In America, they're like the Fox News are like quite right wing.
I would say Talk is probably more just as much, if not more so.
I only watched one program on that Talk TV, and that's that Unexplained with Howard Hughes on a Sunday night. I think he's brilliant. It's all like conspiracies and UFOs, aliens, and shit like that. But yeah, maybe I watch Piers Morgan now and again, but sometimes he can be a bit of a twat.
Yeah, I don't mind Piers Morgan, but I don't mind some of the News stuff, but it depends on who's on, really. But, has he been taken off of GB News yet?
Sorry?
Has he been taken off of GB News?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been taken off. Yeah, because it's a police investigation now.
Okay.
Because of what he was doing, not because of what he done, but because it's been weeks and weeks and weeks. More's come out.
Yeah.
And it's been like he was posing as other people on the internet.
Oh, okay.
And then having liaisons with people and then recording it without their permission.
Yeah. Okay.
And then keeping it as well, you do this for me and blah, blah, and I won't show this to them. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he's been a naughty boy.
Yeah, but what makes me laugh is I just think these people that are in the public eye, they think they're going to get away with it.
I know.
It's like, what makes you think that you can do that to somebody? Well, first of all, I just think to myself, how could you do that to someone and go home and feel good about yourself?
Yeah.
I just don't see how you could do that.
I mean, but this is I don't know if you remember, but Piers Morgan himself, I think it was the Daily Mirror, but lots of newspapers were taken to court because they'd been almost like honey trapping people, or getting into people's voicemails.
Yeah, I mean, was that the fake shake? They were using that thing, the fake shake, years ago when they were getting like
Years
people.
ago, they did loads of stuff. I mean, that poor girl that died, Molly Dowler.
Oh, Millie Dowler, the one that was murdered. Yeah.
Millie Dowler. They hacked into all her voicemails.
Yeah, so her mum thought she was alive, didn't she? Because she read the.
She was alive. So they're possibly responsible for a lot of stuff. And back then, when I don't know how long ago this stuff was with Dan Wootton, but the media was probably a much even more of a dirtier, dingier place.
Yeah, it was back when he was the editor of the showbiz editor at the Sun.
Okay, so it was probably a long time ago. And not that that's a justification. All I'm trying to say is that cultures change, don't they?
Yeah.
And back then, the culture was probably that's what a lot of them did. I'm not saying you don't have to pay for that.
Yeah.
But changes.
But like I said, things just keep happening. You had that other fella, the Hugh Edwards, whatever his name was, and then now this fella, and then it just seems like a domino effect, doesn't it? Once one starts, everywhere. Yeah, it's just bound to happen. It's just inevitable that it's all going to start coming out. And some of it's like some people, when I look at them, I go, oh, I had a feeling that there was something not right about you. But then there's some people you think, no way. Not him, like not her or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I know that I was following that thing with Kevin Spacey, the actor.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I just thought in my head, right, he's guilty as sin.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why, but I was listening to interviews that he'd done, and I just thought to myself, he just seems creepy.
Yeah.
He just
found innocent in America, and now he's been found innocent in the UK.
Yeah, so there's nothing you can do. Yeah.
There's nothing you can do, right? It's like innocent, right? So
Yeah.
that's it.
But yeah, it's just some people I just think, oh nah, there's something about you. It's something about you.
Yeah.
Don't quite. Yeah, and then you're wrong. You think shit. No, not a very good judge of character. But so yeah, and then like I know we're jumping about subjects, but I was thinking about what do you think about this thing with the barge?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the government, I mean, why wouldn't you check that sort of stuff out before you put anybody on there? The other thing what I like about the barge and the Miranda policy is that I would hope that they would serve as a deterrent, so people would come over and think, well, I don't know, maybe I don't know if I'm going to Miranda, ending up on a barge, or given asylum. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I would have hoped from them, really. But it's clearly not going to work with this.
No, I mean the one thing I was surprised about the Rwanda thing is I think that people that are genuinely fleeing, like, I don't mean economic migrants. I mean like people who are genuinely fleeing like threats to their life or whatever. But I mean when you send them to where is it? What's the country? Rwanda. But I mean it's a dictatorship.
Yeah.
That's not a democracy. So basically like they're leaving one pan of boiling oil and jumping straight into another. Because I mean, I was reading about it the other day about Rwanda, and they're trying to dress it up.
Yeah.
It's like it's a lovely place, it's lovely, but when you read about what's going on there, it's really, really not a nice place to be.
No.
It's really not.
But something has to happen. I mean, what would you do?
Oh yeah, I mean, something's got to give. I mean, the other day there was 750 come across in one day. The other day.
Something's got to give. I mean, I think it would be safe to say that most of the public, don't want this.
No, we're just getting fed up with it. But the reason people are getting fed up is because, well, I don't know why it takes England or the UK so long to process a single person. In France, they get processed within 6 months with an answer, yes or no.
Yeah.
You can stay, you can go.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got people waiting 18 months.
I'll tell you why. Because the Home Office is full of civil servants who are woke. Who are I believe they're juggling feet on purpose.
Yeah.
To like slow things down, but so that these people either just get lost in the system and we never find them again anyway.
Yeah.
Or they just continually get like a temporary leave to stay type thing,
Yeah,
That's That's what I think.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I think there's some of that. And then when I can't remember, I was listening to LBC in work the other day, and there was a lord, someone who was ex-member of Parliament, and he was saying that the only way they're going to be able to do this is if they leave the Convention of European Court of Human Rights.
Yeah.
That's the only way they're going to be able to do it. Because there's so many, and a lot of it is down to dodgy solicitors, dodgy immigration solicitors.
Did you see that when they the Daily Mail did a sting?
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. I mean, I bet if there's those 4 or 5, you can guarantee it. That, in fact, did you see the one with the female solicitor, the Asian female solicitor?
No.
And so she was on TikTok going, "Yeah, come to me."
Oh yes.
And that was another one, the GB News journalist who went with his microphone, and actually got out of a car and jumped on us.
Yeah.
And was like, "So, what do you think?" And I just think they need to be outed.
But I think the people like that, they're as bad as the smugglers.
Of course they are. I mean, if you're encouraging people to come over, then you've got blood on your hands if people die in the channel.
Oh yeah. Especially if you're making money from it.
If you're making money from it and you're encouraging people to come over, then when that vote overturned and those people died, that's on you.
Yeah.
Because you're telling them to come over.
But do you know what's so sad is all these people that are coming over, the people that don't necessarily need to leave the country that they're in.
Yeah.
They're doing it for different reasons. It completely negates all the real families and the real people that need our help.
Yeah.
Because inevitably they're either going to be killed or displaced somewhere else that they don't want to be, or they've got for genuine reasons. But then you've got all these gangs, they're ruining it because I mean I don't understand. I mean obviously it's a lot more complicated than just why can't we sort it out. Obviously it's a lot more complicated than that. But I don't understand. Right, let's say they had a stack of applications that were 15 feet high. Employ people to go through every application. And just go right. We need to just confirm a few details with this, confirm a few details with that. You haven't got this document, you haven't got that document. I'm sorry, but we don't believe you.
Yeah.
You stay where you go. Yeah. You've got 15 days or 10 days or whatever.
People come over, they lose all their documents.
Yeah.
They lose everything. So that you can't do anything.
No, yeah.
We don't know who they are.
But like I said, it's such a shame when you've got like kids and people. But the thing is, though, what makes me laugh is it's all men.
It is all men. I mean, there are children and women.
Yeah.
They're in a small minority
compared
to the men.
Yeah.
I think why? Because France have got a lot to answer for as well. Because the I think it was the Coast Guard came out and said that the boats that the French have hired from different countries to basically keep an eye on what's going on their side of the waters are not fit for purpose.
Yeah.
They're too slow and not fit for purpose. So what they do is they just escort them to English waters and then let them go.
Yeah, let them go. Yeah, it's not. See you later.
I don't see why we can't have our people over on French beaches and let's just destroy the boat.
Yeah. Well, I was saying this the other day to Dad, and I said, like, I cannot believe that we're like, I don't know, fourth or fifth largest like military force in the world for the size that we are, right? One of the most technologically advanced countries in the world, right? I cannot see how we cannot patrol. I mean, you look at the size of our island, in compared to France or somewhere. I mean, they're massive, right? And why cannot we patrol that bit of coastline?
Yeah.
Why can't we do that? I mean, we can send jets and bombs and everything to Iraq from all these other countries. Why can't we do that?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense.
Why can't we have a helicopter? Right? Yeah. No, I don't mean constantly flying, but it passes up and down this known route that these people take. Spotlights on and a few boats out. Obviously, you can't have boats. I understand you can't have boats out there when there's 10-foot wakes and it's pissing down with rain and thunder and lightning. But I mean, what the summertime is the time that they're all coming.
Well, this is the thing. This is why that boat turned over, because France, they knew that boat was leaving the shore because they escorted it to almost out to English waters, you know.
Yeah.
But the sea was far too dangerous for it to be on, really.
Yeah, the channel is always like that, though. The channel's choppy.
I mean, what does that say to you about how the French feel? They're not bothered.
No, yeah.
They're not in there.
But you ask anybody, right? You say to people, what when these it's like Nick Ferrari from LBC?
Yeah.
Right, he was having an argument on the radio with someone about it the other day. Someone that called in, and they were talking about the people that are coming from certain countries, and he said like about Albanians, and then the caller said, yeah, but they're coming here, but he said, and they're coming here in their droves, but like Nick Ferrari said, he said, but what are they running from? There's no war in Albania.
No.
There's no persecution. It's not It's not a dictatorship.
No.
What are they running from?
I know. Well, Albania is one of the probably is it the only country that the UK has got an agreement with, so that when Albanians land, they can fly them straight back to Albania.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've got that. You know, we've got that because there's so many Albanians in British prisons.
Yeah, right. Because they're not, they're not all Albanians, but there's quite a high criminal fraternity thing going on with Albania.
Yeah, there's an underground element to it. I mean, it's just it's a historical thing.
Yeah.
It's just a historical thing. It's the same with East London and gangsters. It's the same with do you know what I mean? Like New York, the New York mob and Italian mafia. It's just a historical thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because places like Soho, places like that, they're run rife with them gangs. That you one side of the street you've got the Albanians, one side of the street you've got the Chinese, one side of the street you've got the Yakuza, the Japanese, and they're everywhere. But they're the people that are bringing in all these other people. These are the snakeheads. These are the people that are organising this. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Turkey at the moment. Turkey's got a massive problem with probably bigger than what we've got.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're sending a lot of people back, but their situation at the moment is a lot worse than what ours is.
Yeah.
But ours is heading that way. I mean, soon we're going to top 100,000.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
But it's not just the fact they're coming in as well. It's the fact we just haven't got the infrastructure. We just haven't got the means to look after these people.
That's true. So the infrastructure needs to be built, the space, and all that, right? But what upsets me more is that I don't see that we can't do what countries like America do. So and of course, you can have your faith and your religion. You have to pledge to be British. You have to pledge to support our royal family. You have to pledge to support the British way of life. I don't see what's wrong with that, really.
I mean, it's personal feelings. I mean, if I was moving to another country, let's say I was moving to Morocco, then I'd have to integrate.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd have to integrate because otherwise I wouldn't get on.
No, that's right.
I just wouldn't get on.
That's what can't be encouraged here, because there are certain areas you can go in London, I mean, where I live at the moment, and certain areas have been because they build communities, of their own kind, and that's it's such a shame.
But that's the thing I don't like. Because it always comes down to like them and us. It's like
absolutely
that group over there, and
just all live together.
I'd rather us all live together because it becomes so tribalistic, and it's like that's your tribe, my tribe,
and
it's like,
why not? Would it be nice to have somebody from a different religion, different country living next door to you, and they came round and said, "All right, I've just cooked this. This is what we have, and I'll come for dinner." I'm like, it would be lovely. It kind of has that sort of relationship with someone down on where you live, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah. But I mean, it's just nice when you come out in the morning. I mean, we've got Jeanette, who's there's a Chinese lady lives opposite. When she first moved here, her English was awful.
Yes.
But then, she started coming over, and we started going over there, and but it's just gradually got better. And now you go out in the morning, it's like morning. Do you know what I mean? We've got a couple of new Indian family, and a new Sikh family moved in either end of the street. Yeah. The same as that. The guy come over the other day. He's like, "All right, well, we're moving in. My name's so and so. Nice to meet you." And yeah, and, and Now when I drive around the corner, I'm like, oh, morning, mate, or see him in the evening or whatever because he's out the front. He's out the front doing all his garden up, and it just makes you feel at ease.
It does make you feel at ease.
It just makes you feel at ease.
We can all have our differences in terms of, culture, religion, stuff like that, but still get on.
Yeah.
Don't need these pockets of.
Do you know what? I've never had a problem with religion or culture. Do you know what? The only people that make it a problem is and it only seems to be like the last 5 to 8 years, 10 years, is like when all this LGBT stuff come about and all that come about. It's like they're not happy unless they're fighting for a cause, and if there's not a cause to fight for, then they'll make one up.
Yeah.
And it just gets everyone down. I'm just like, do you know what? I want to. There are certain issues you've got to fight for. There are certain things that are going on that need addressing. Do you know what I mean? But just shut up for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Let someone else have a chat. Let someone else have a word. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I don't care whether you want to be a boy, a girl, a dog, a cat. I don't care.
Yeah.
But neither does anyone else.
No,
so if you're going to do it, go and do it.
Yeah.
But just go and live your life.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
And it's like it's forced down your throat. It's like you're forced to confront it.
Yeah.
But when you don't want to.
I hope Sadiq Khan gets voted out next time.
Do you know what? He has royally fucking his city up.
Hasn't he?
He's just it's unbelievable. I mean, this ULEZ thing has got everyone up in arms around here as well. I mean, when I was driving down the road the other day from Asda, there's kids up on the lamppost cutting the cameras off.
Yeah, I saw that on the news.
Do you know what I mean? Throwing bricks at them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And but it's just a tax. That's all it is. Because if he really was worried about people's health, he would say, "You cannot bring that car into London."
That's right.
But if you pay me £12.50 a day,
that's right.
you can bring it in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The thing is, the reason he's doing that is because he's ballsed up TfL. TfL's in the hole for so many hundreds of millions of pounds. He needs to get them out of it.
Yeah.
And this is, but I don't understand why. So if a new mayor gets in, if I was the Conservative or the Conservative mayor running for it, and I won, I don't understand why I couldn't go in there, rip all them cameras out, and go, do you know what? We're doing away with that.
I suppose it could, but I think the reality is they're in now, and people are going to be paying it. So whoever gets in next, unless they've got a real reasonable set of morals going on, they could decide just to leave it.
Well, someone was saying they can be repurposed as speed cameras, and one of the other people said that. Excuse me. One of the other people said that because the first extension has only been in for about 6 months, and now this whole entire city rollout one is coming soon. He said you could probably scrap all of that, and just have it back to where it was in central London. But as someone that drives a van in central London every day, it doesn't make a difference. I'll tell you what does make a difference: school holidays.
Yeah.
School holidays are the best thing to ever happen to London traffic.
That's it. Just stop all the kids from going to school.
School holidays are the best thing that ever happened. But that charge don't do nothing.
No, it won't. And it will be just the poor people that have to suffer, really.
Yeah, but and also funneling all of the traffic into one lane and leaving 2 lanes open for buses that come down there once every 3 hours.
Yeah, I know.
That's not good either.
And cycle lanes that take up everything. And then the cyclists don't use the cycle lane.
Or putting plant pots at the end of the street, so you drive all the way down the street with no signage saying you can't get through. You get to the end, there's 2 plant pots.
Yeah.
And this is a low traffic neighbourhood. And you're like, well, you could have told me that fucking 2 miles back before I started driving down here. You just can't do nothing. You can't move in London. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, that's my rant over.
Anyway,
yeah.
So, anyway, good chat.
Yeah, good chat. Good catch up. Good catch up.
So,
good catch up.
I'll see you next week. Hopefully with the Lynn.
Yeah, that's if she remembers, because she's a bit of a div.
She's a div.
Yeah. You know what? You'd think she's got 9 kids.
I know. She has got a busy life. She's got a busy life, So
I know.
Comes back. But I don't see how you can make arrangements on one day and forget them the next day.
In less than 24 hours.
In less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then realise that you make arrangements to go out. I mean,
But anyway, we'll leave that.
Yeah, we'll leave that.
And
We'll make sure we drag her in next week.
yeah, and we'll pick this up again.
Yeah.
Next week.
All right, love. See you later.
All right, see you later. Bye, bye everyone. Bye, bye, bye.